the biggest festival scam that has ever happened, Fyre Festival, has come out with Fyre Festival 2. How could you commit such an atrocious scam and come back with a second one? Let us talk about this. Here we have Wikipedia. Fyre Festival, listed as a fraudulent luxury music festival organized by Billy McFarland and Joe Rule. So it was created to promote the company's Fyre app to book music talents, and it was scheduled on April 28th to 30th and May 5th to 7th, 2017 on Great Exuma. This was heavily promoted as the next Coachella, with big models like Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid posting about it on their Instagram, which this also brought up a whole separate conversation about influencers promoting things that they have no idea what's happening, because the influencers were promoting an event that didn't happen and people were holding the influencers accountable. On one hand, I do think that, should do research into what you're promoting. On the other hand, it does seem like Billy is a very good salesman in upselling you, and maybe they just got sold. Or maybe if you're being negative, you look at it and they just looked at the big check. I think Billy paid them like $100K and they just fell for it, right? But it was an absolute fraud, basically. Everybody that pulled up to the island, the food was sad sandwiches. They were promised cabins and instead they got emergency pop-up tents. It was every man for themselves. People were robbing each other out of their hotels, etc. In the Netflix documentary, there were people who lived on the island who were like trying to help clean up and help cook, and it seemed like a fair amount of them did not get reimbursed back, from what it sounds like. So according to Wikipedia, in March 2018, McFarland pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud to defraud investors and ticket holders, and a second account to defraud a ticket vendor. And he was sentenced to 6 years in prison in order to forfeit $26 million. And there were 8 lawsuits. I really recommend watching the Netflix documentary about it because it's very interesting. It was bad. Billy is back, guys. I guess 6 years is over. Billy was in jail for a while. So let's take a look at their social media, guys. Here we have Fyre Festival, the Instagram page, okay? And if we look over here, these are the original posts promoting the event. April 7th, 2017, their posts about Fyre. We have the promotion video, right? Playa is on fire, May 30th to June 2nd, hyping up Fyre Festival 2. I think this is funny. Can you stop using our fonts? It's listed to be Playa del Carmen in the heart of the Riviera Maya, May 30th to June 2nd, hosted by Playa del Carmen, Quintana Roo. And here they have a press invite that they're putting out. And then they're releasing merch. I'm just curious. Let's just take a look at this, guys, because what kind of merch are they cooking? Well, if you go to the merch page not found. So interesting. This background is really reminiscent of the 100 Thieves, though. Then here we have a press conference, which I just think it's really interesting. Look at the guys. Were they told to wear a specific outfit? Were they told they must wear brown khaki pants and a white top and get the exact same haircut? Or did they just all show up like that? So more press conferences. Now, April 4th, this is Fyre's post about their immediate release April 4th. Fyre has been working directly with the government of Playa del Carmen, PDC, and their officials since March 5th to ensure a successful event. So I again think this is very interesting. The whole issue with Fyre Festival 1 was they planned it way too last minute. They planned an event with a massive scope and they tried crunching it into like 8 months or something like that, right? Their event is scheduled. According to this graphic, the event is listed May 30th to June 2nd, so the previous weekend. What do you mean you started working with the government only 2 months ago? Something sounds a little off. I feel like you definitely should have more than 2 months of contact with the government of the location you're trying to host this festival for, but I don't know. So they're saying that media is lying about them not working with the government, that they give a timeline. March 12th, the government gave Fyre Festival 2 an official invitation to share with artists. March 18th, they permitted Fyre Festival 2 and other permissions that were provided. And they have screenshots, I guess, of emails, artist invitation emails with Billy McFarland literally listed on the emails, the guy who went to jail for scamming for the first festival. The authorizations. Chito Mexico adds a few more details if you understand Spanish. So, because I don't, let's read these, right? The permit is for 250 people using recorded music for a total of 12 hours, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. spread over 3 days, a max of 100 decibels. How are 40 artists being crammed into 12 hours? Also, look up this beach club. I've been there. It's nice, but too small. And then Carly Ann says, those are permits from the club owners for regular beach clubs here that hold 250 people. The entry is usually 100 USD, and that goes towards consumption. Those are not festival events or venues, and the government has not approved any festival of any sort. We live here, and the whole city is laughing about this. But then, April 23rd, they posted this. Special announcement. When my team and I launched Fyre Festival 2, it was about two things: finishing what I started and making things right. Over the past 2 years, we've poured everything into bringing Fyre back with honesty, transparency, relentless effort, and creativity. We've taken the long road to rebuilding trust. We rebuilt momentum, and we proved one thing without a doubt: Fyre is one of the most powerful attention engines in the world. On a complete side note, I love the ability of like startup bros to spin the narrative. What do you mean it's the most powerful attention engines in the world? This was the biggest festival scam in the last decade, or since a long time ago, since my life, honestly. That is why it is a big attention engine. So yes, that is a true statement, because y'all are scammer. Since 2017, Fyre has dominated headlines, documentaries, and conversations as one of the world's most talked about music festival, as the world's biggest failure of a music festival. We knew that Fyre was big, but we didn't realize how massive the wave would become. The wave has brought us here, to a point where we know it's time to call for assistance. The brand is bigger than any one person and bigger than what I'm able to lead on my own. It's a movement, and it deserves a team with the scale, experience, and infrastructure to realize its potential. We have decided the best way to accomplish our goals is to sell the Fyre Festival brand, including its trademarks, IP, digital assets, media reach, and cultural capital, to an operator that can fully realize its vision. There's a clear path for operators and entrepreneurs with strong domain expertise to build Fyre into a global force in entertainment, media, fashion, CPG, and more. For example, in the 2 years since we've relaunched Fyre Festival, Hollywood and entertainment executives have already licensed the brand to develop properties specific in theater, music streaming, and ad-supported TV. In addition, following the challenges we faced in Mexico, we were approached by several Caribbean destinations eager to host Fyre Festival 2. We dove into the process, meeting with national officials, conducting site visits, and we're confident we found the ideal location for the festival. While I'm incredibly excited, I can't risk a repeat of what happened in Playa del Carmen, where support quickly turned into public distancing once media attention intensified. For Fyre Festival 2 to succeed, it's clear I need to step back and allow a new team to move forward independently, bringing the vision to life on this incredible island. Sincerely, Billy. The saddest part about this, Billy actually has a talent in marketing things, but it's just he got it so in his head that he wanted to be rich and put on the biggest festival in the world without the capacity to execute that he fucked over so many people. He clearly can market something. So here on May 2nd, he made a post announcing Fyre Music. So they're now allowing the licensing of its name for music streaming and fast video network. And then 6 days ago, they have an announcement. And then they announced Fyre Hotels. And if you go to the Fyre page, their website, right, fyre.mx, you get this big statement. You get the brand asset package, right? More promises, brand offer. But look, here is the Fyre store. They're selling merch. And guys, I wish I was joking. I really wish I could tell you that this $130 hoodie is a joke. Oh, well, I mean, their site's like broken. Maybe they're not selling it anymore. But a $100 hoodie, a black hoodie with white text on it, which is just your logo. Fyre Festival 2, $100. The product is made especially for you as soon as you place an order. Oh, so it's a print-on-demand hoodie? If you guys don't know what print-on-demand is, that means they have a design and then it doesn't get printed onto the hoodie until somebody orders it. It helps reduce overhead. Each hoodie to print, depending on what material you use, whatever, at most, like for production, $25, $30. This is probably $70 a profit per hoodie. So they're selling overpriced merch. I wonder if anybody even bought the merch at all. Now they have Fyre Hotels. Fyre Coral View pop-up at the Coral View Beach Resort. By the way, just read this, guys. The inspiration for Fyre started in 2013 when a software engineer and hobbyist pilot challenged Billy to leave New York City and to try and fly a small plane from New York City to a remote Caribbean island. What in the rich kid hobby is this? Sorry, like when my friends dare me to do something, it's more like eating, I don't know, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, eat this fry that fell on the floor. Or I bet that you can't finish your boba in 30 seconds. I guess we don't operate, well, we most definitely don't operate in the same tax bracket, but I don't operate in the, hey, take my private jet and fly it all the way to the Caribbean just for fun, haha. In this economy, guys, I just think like really rich kid backstory is very interesting. Very interesting. So now they're selling a Fyre resort pop-up for a week-long escape. And it's listed about Fyre Coral View pop-up. It's an experience built for adventurous creators and the curious. We found an untapped corner of the Caribbean to bring a group together for an adventurous travel experience. We're chasing stories about deep dives, street food, late night bonfires, and wake up to something unexpected. Come with us, sleep under the stars. Dude, I don't need to come with you. I could just come with my friends, okay? Like, I mean, if we had the money, me and my friends could book a private room at a hotel and snorkel together and hike together and stuff. I wonder how much it is. How much are they selling this for? Okay, so book now. You just they're selling rooms or a standard room price from $199 for one guest. Is this the like for 7 days? That's not bad if it's for 7 days. But given their history, you're gonna end up with like no water, no food. And here we have an LA Times article. Okay, written by Alexandria Del Rosario, April 24th, titled Fyre Festival 2 flames out as Billy McFarland puts brand up for sale. Fyre Festival 2 is indefinitely postponed, shocker, and McFarland seeks to distance himself from the event, putting it up for sale. And McFarland announced his decision to step away from Fyre 2 months after declaring in February that Fyre Festival 2 is real, and was set to come to Isla Mujeres in the Mexican Caribbean from May 30th to June 2nd. At the time, he said he saw Mexico as a second chance. And apparently, Fyre Festival 2 touted 4 ticket tiers ranging from $1,400 to $1.1 million. Oh, and a week after the promoter confidently unveiled his plans for Fyre Festival 2, the tourism board of Isla Mujeres said it had no knowledge of this event. A spokesperson for the tourism board told The Guardian in early March, quote, "For us, this is an event that does not exist," end quote, which McFarland had disputed and then apparently deleted the video. And then the Fyre Festival said it was blindsided by the official claims and instead opted to host the event at Playa del Carmen. And then on April 2nd, Playa del Carmen government officials issued a statement in Spanish on Instagram with a familiar message. Quote, "After a thorough review, there is no record or planning of any such event in the municipality," end quote, the statement said. He's just lying and lying and lying. This brand is cooked. This brand is actually cooked, and this Billy person needs to stop selling stuff. Just pack it up, dude. And also, the thing is, he sounds rich. So it sounds like you're fine. He's 33, he's listed as a financial criminal, and apparently the Magnesis card-based club that he founded was allegedly also a scam, as in it just didn't really deliver much on the things it was promising. He was born in New York and was raised in the Short Hills section of Millburn, New Jersey, and his parents are real estate developers. Real estate developers make good money, guys. They make good money. So I mean, I don't know his family background, right? I don't know how much money he has, but your friend bet you can't fly this private plane to a Caribbean island. You got money. You at least have private plane money. So I always just think it's from like a psychology perspective, very interesting that you could have it all essentially compared to what the average American has, and you could still try to get more. I just think it's very interesting. Fyre Festival 2's IP is allegedly being sold, so we'll see if anybody even buys it. I'm curious if you think anybody would ever touch it, because I don't think anybody would want to touch the IP afterwards. Like, the IP is just cooked. You're just known as a scam. He's listed as a criminal. And the final update, you go on Billy's Twitter. He posts about Fyre music. Fyre community. 1 week after launching the Fyre token, we're making impact. Crypto? I don't even know, man. It's honestly not surprised there was a spin-off into crypto after everything else that has already happened. I expected no less. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. If you like the video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on VGen. I'm there now. I have coffee, free resources for streamers and creators. Also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.